What if a simple conversation with a stranger could completely change how you see the world? That's exactly what happened to me one ordinary morning in a coffee shop. As-salamu alaykum. Welcome to Good Muslim Stories, where we share warm, uplifting stories that build understanding and compassion. I walked into a coffee shop on a Tuesday, expecting nothing more than a quiet corner and a warm cup of coffee. It had been one of those heavy mornings, the kind that sits on your shoulders for no clear reason. I just needed a moment to breathe. But what happened next wasn't in my plans at all. It was small, simple, yet powerful enough to remind me how much goodness quietly exists in the world. The coffee shop was humming with gentle energy. The rich smell of roasted coffee and a hint of cinnamon drifted through the air. Sunlight streamed through the window, catching little dust motes that danced like tiny stars. People were typing, reading, whispering. Just another ordinary morning. I chose a small corner table, adjusting my long, flowing hijab and modest clothing as I sat down, feeling that familiar comfort it brings. Anyone could clearly see I was a Muslim woman, but in this peaceful little bubble, I just felt like another person looking for a quiet pause. As I stood to go order, I noticed a woman seated a few tables away. She was older, with soft silver hair and kind eyes. She glanced at me not with suspicion, but with a warm curiosity and offered a small, hesitant smile. I smiled back. A moment later, she slowly stood and walked toward me. My heart fluttered for a second. You never really know what someone might say. But her expression held no tension, only gentleness. "Excuse me," she said softly, like someone handling something fragile. "I hope I'm not bothering you." I assured her she wasn't. And then she said something I never expected. "I just wanted to tell you something," she began, her eyes crinkling with warmth. "Years ago, when I was a young nurse, I worked with a doctor from Middle East. He was Muslim and he was the kindest, most patient person I ever met. He treated everyone, from the janitor to the chief surgeon, with the same respect. He taught me so much about compassion, just by being who he was." A soft warmth spread across my chest, dissolving the heaviness I'd walked in with. She didn't want an explanation or a debate. She wasn't questioning my faith. She simply wanted to share a memory, a piece of her life that connected with mine. It was a bridge made of kindness. We talked for a few minutes. I told her that her story reflected a core teaching in Islam, that the best of people are those who bring the most benefit to others, and that kindness is a form of charity. She nodded, eyes glistening. "He used to say something like that," she whispered. "He believed every small act of goodness mattered." Before she returned to her seat, she insisted on paying for my coffee. She said it was a small thank you for a conversation that brightened her morning. But to me, it felt enormous. As I sat there sipping the coffee she bought, gratitude washed over me. We often hear stories that divide people, stories that reduce us to stereotypes instead of human beings. We build silent walls, sometimes without realizing it. But that day, in an ordinary coffee shop, a woman I had never met gently took down a wall I didn't even know I carried. She didn't see my hijab as a barrier. She saw it as a reminder of someone she once admired. Her kindness wasn't shocking because it was rare, but because of how simple, sincere, and freely given it was. A reminder that most people aren't looking for a reason to judge. They're looking for a reason to connect. Sometimes all it takes is one small moment, even in a coffee shop, to show us how much goodness still exists in the world. Love this story. If it touched your heart, pass it on to someone who could use a little hope today. And don't forget to subscribe to Good Muslim Stories for more stories, real-life narratives that warm the heart.